Crown the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant found dead in suspected suicide. Double murder in Four Paths, Clarendon. Cyclist crushed by truck near Hero Circle. Schools shaken as students recover from Gordon Town crash. In the business report, Optimum Jamaica's rapid recruitment drive. While in sports, Mount Pleasant through to CONCACAF Caribbean Cup semifinals.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development.
This Saturday, September 27, rivals collide at the Jerusalem Mini Stadium. CVM's coverage of ISA Schoolboy Football 2025 continues. Jamaica College face their biggest test of the opening round as they battle their newest foes, St. Andrew Technical, in the feature encounter at 4:30 p.m. Before that though, Holy Trinity and Hydel lock horns starting at 2 p.m. All four teams are in unfamiliar territory and that should make for a tasty doubleheader. JC versus Stats at 4:30 p.m. and Holy Trinity versus Hydel at 2 p.m. Rivals collide Saturday, September 27. See it happen on CVM, CVMTV.com and CVM TV News on YouTube.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of.
Seize the next IPO opportunity seamlessly with the Sagicor e-Invest.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Wednesday, September 24, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Up first this evening, police are investigating the suspected death by suicide of 26-year-old accountant and former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant Tyra Spaulding, who was found unresponsive last night. This is the fourth suspected case reported in 2 months. Ms. Spalding competed in the 2023 Miss Universe Jamaica pageant. On August 15, she posted on Instagram that she was, quote, going through hell. Later in a YouTube video, she openly admitted to struggling with suicidal thoughts. Franchise holder of the Miss Universe Jamaica East competition, Jermane Blair, describes the former contestant as a bright and promising young woman, adding that no one should feel afraid to seek help as the organization aims to create more inclusive spaces for contestants.
Tyra was one of those women who was very, very intelligent. But from the casting, you know, she came into the room and just hearing her speak and understanding, you know, how she articulates, it was just a beautiful thing. You know, graduating from the University of the West Indies with a degree in economics, first class honors, a woman who was an advocate for mental health from the beginning, you know, and helping persons to be able to overcome their mental health challenges through exercise. That's something that she also wanted to push, wanted to really use as her altruism to help persons. She was a very vibrant, honest individual, beautiful soul.
Or anyone you know is struggling with mental health issues or suicidal thoughts, please call the Suicide Prevention Helpline, 888-NEW-LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. Meanwhile, it was a somber atmosphere this morning at the Louise Bennett Coverley Primary and St. Martin de Porres Primary Schools in St. Andrew. Several students of both schools were hospitalized. when the bus they were in overturned Tuesday afternoon. The incident happened in Dublin Castle, Gordon Town, where the Toyota bus was transporting roughly 20 students. Amoy Harriet visited the area.
Below me are remnants of Tuesday's tragic bus crash involving 20 students here in Dublin Castle, Gordon Town, St. Andrew. On the ground, pieces of shattered glass and items that appear to have belonged to occupants of the vehicle. This is a pencil. We're seeing coins. I'm also seeing the rear view mirror of the bus, the side mirror of the bus, as well as other fragments of the vehicle. A haunting reminder of what happened here yesterday. Now, CVM News understands that the bus was driving uphill. What happened when the vehicle got to the top of the hill, around about where the CVM vehicle is now parked, to have caused the bus to slide back downhill is still being investigated. However, the tire tracks that we're seeing over here on the banking would explain how the bus managed to have overturned and landed right there.
Well, everybody was a bit scared and talking what happened to the children. A man said he took out some of the children and he has to be hugging them because they were so scared.
The occupants of the bus were rushed to hospital. CVM News understands that while most have since been treated and released, a few remain admitted in serious condition. Among them, the driver, his son who was also in the vehicle, and a student. When our news team visited the hospital Tuesday night, the mood was grim, with anxious relatives sitting quietly, worry and exhaustion written all over their faces. We spoke with a mother whose 9-year-old son was among those injured in the crash. Melissa Ramsey explained that her son suffered a fractured arm, but says despite the ordeal, she's thankful things weren't worse.
Giving God thanks, it wasn't that bad. No life has lost. I tell you, it was very traumatized, I'm telling you. But by the grace of God, just glad.
When I saw the bus and the videos and I saw my students last night, I said it had to be a miracle from God.
Sheena Taylor Morgan is principal of the Louise Bennett Coverley Primary School. 13 of her students were involved in the crash. One of them is still in hospital.
The doctors decided that they would admit him just to keep him on observation because his injury was a head injury, and so he's in a lot of pain. But there are different things that have happened to different students. For example, we have students that their hand may be broken, the neck, so there are neck injuries, there are bruises, and as you are aware, the radiator burst, so the water from that affected some of the students, so they got burns. The students that are here at school currently, they are also traumatized. Some of them are relatives to those students that were involved in the accident. Some of them are neighbors to them.
Now, the Ministry of Education says counseling support will be offered to students and staff, including those from neighboring St. Martin de Porres Primary, whose students were also involved in the accident. The families have also been promised financial relief.
Their costs will be fully covered and their prescriptions will be picked up as well for them to ensure that those who have any issue of pain at all will be comfortable tonight. In the event anyone needs to be seen by the hospital again, they have been informed to reach out and come back.
In the meantime, as families of the injured students waited anxiously outside the accident and emergency unit at the University Hospital of the West Indies Tuesday night, they were joined by another group of worrying relatives. About an hour before the bus overturned in Gordon Town, there was another crash just minutes away in the neighboring Irish Town community, which left one woman dead and 5 people in hospital. Amoy Harriet picks up this story.
The crash happened sometime after 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Reports are that a Toyota Probox carrying 6 people was traveling from Pepin towards Irish Town when it veered off the road near the Strawberry Hill Hotel and plunged into a ravine. In a video obtained by our newsroom, first responders are seen using ropes and heavy equipment to retrieve the trapped passengers from the steep hillside.
I heard the driver develop a mechanical problem. And I think bad judgment, he didn't stop to find out exactly what happened. He was trying to move at the same time, checking, and it went over the precipice.
1 woman died, and the 5 others, including the 21-year-old male driver, were taken to hospital. All are said to be in stable condition. The deceased woman has been identified as Greta McKenzie of a Jerry Gully, Irish Town address. A relative of the deceased woman teaches at the Louise Bennett Coverley Primary School, the same institution where students were involved in the Gordontown bus crash. We spoke to the school's principal, Sheena Taylor Morgan.
It's very sad, because it's like you're mourning and you're sad at the same time, because your family member is gone and your students that you teach were involved in an accident and are hurt. So it is a sad situation, but we'll be providing the necessary support to her and by extension her family.
Our news team spoke to family members of the crash victims outside of the hospital Tuesday night. They told us Miss McKenzie had recently moved to the community, so the residents didn't know her very well. For Roxanne Richards, though, the concern is much closer to home. Her daughter was injured in the accident.
Someone called and I missed the call first and then I get it again. Answered that, scared, frightened. Thankful that she's alive. It could be worse. We'll just have to give God thanks.
Amoy Howard reporting for CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in just a moment.
Get ready for Jesus 2025, 25th Jubilee Year of Hope with Father Holong and Friends, a celebration of faith and the life of Jesus Christ at the National Arena. Gala shows on September 27 to 28 and October 4 to 5. Tickets adults $2,000 and $3,000, children $1,200. All proceeds support missionaries of the poor. Get your tickets now. Call 876-774-7350 or 876-809-5877. Jesus 2025. You can't afford to miss it.
Crunch your craving with the value menu from KFC. With combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Get ready to take flight. It's Aviation Expo 2025 in collaboration with the Airports Authority of Jamaica and the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, the island's ultimate aviation showcase and family fun day. Join us Saturday, October 4 from 12 to 8 p.m. at Tinson Pen Aerodrome in Kingston with show host Ian I.T. Ellis. And guess what? It's free. Plus, the JCAA and JDF will be recruiting. Follow at Aviation Expo JA for updates.
Welcome back. A man was killed early this morning after he was crushed by a trailer truck while riding his bicycle near Hero Circle in Kingston. Raheem White has the details.
The bicycle that once carried a man through Kingston streets now sits in the back of a police van. Evidence of a morning commute that ended in tragedy. The victim was transporting water on his bicycle when he was hit and crushed by a trailer truck in the busy Hero Circle area. Onlookers say they shouted to get the driver's attention after the impact, but it was already too late. The man, believed to be from the nearby Almond Town community, has not yet been officially identified. Police cornered off the area as they launched investigations into the deadly crash. The incident has reignited calls for greater caution on the nation's road. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Lucien Jones, says every life lost is preventable.
Right now, we have a 6% increase in the number of fatalities. We need to drive this down very quickly. And the only way that's going to happen is if we drive down a number of collisions. And therefore, drivers of motor vehicles and motorcyclists need to face swift sanctions, sure sanctions, and severe sanctions if they continue to ignore the provisions under the New Road Traffic Act. That's the only way we're going to get a significant change in the culture of speeding and recklessness in this country. We have to put a stop to the number of collisions, the number of non-fatal collisions, lest they turn deadly.
As police continue their investigation, the incident stands as another reminder of the dangers faced by vulnerable road users on Jamaica's streets. 287 people have died in motor vehicle accidents since the start of the year. Raheem White for CVM News.
In other news, police in Clarendon are investigating a double murder in Four Paths Tuesday evening. According to reports, 2 men were ambushed by gunmen along a dirt road after leaving a river with friends. Carla Ramdeen has more.
What began as a river outing for 2 young men and their female companions in Four Paths, Clarendon on Tuesday ended in tragedy. The victims have been identified as 24-year-old Patrick Thompson, otherwise called Rick, and 28-year-old Janiel Callahan, otherwise called Squaddy. Reports are that the men who were riding separate motorcycles were heading back from a river in Four Paths around 5:30 p.m., accompanied by 2 women. They were ambushed by 2 masked men armed with handguns. Police say one of the attackers said to Thompson, "Are you come for?" before opening fire. Thompson was chased and shot multiple times in the head and upper body, while Callahan suffered gunshot wounds to his abdomen and chest. Their female companions managed to escape without injury. The police were called and the men were found lying face down with gunshot wounds. They were taken to the Maypen Hospital where they were pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
A young man was allegedly stabbed multiple times and left for dead in Clear Springs, Portland recently. He was attacked just outside his home. Kevin Black reports.
I miss Cash. I miss him. I miss him.
Construction works, guiding tourists, cleaning properties. These were some of the contributions by the late Martino Earl Martiluk, also known as Cash Money, before his untimely demise last week. Sources told the CVM News that the 22-year-old was called out of his home, situated in Clear Springs, Portland, by a familiar voice. Upon exiting his abode, he was allegedly stabbed in the throat by 3 armed assailants who left his body abandoned. According to his mother, Jacqueline Wallace, he was a jovial person who was not seen as a troublemaker by those in his social circle.
Someone called him out and stab him several times in his throat, then cut him short. A very kind person, don't give trouble. And in the community of Clear Spring that I went, I don't heard nothing bad about him.
Wallace also informed the CVM News that the police had successfully identified the suspects in the murder.
When I heard of his death, I went on the crime scene. And the first word that come off my mouth, this place is surrounded by pure guilt. And I went down on my knee 5 times and prayed, said, Father, Father, justice. I heard that they catch 3 suspects in custody, and today I heard from the police that they were fully charged with murder.
Some members of his immediate family shared with us insight into his countenance, adding the entire community is grief-stricken following the tragedy.
I know Cash from he was a baby in the mother belly. We call him Cash. He called me Cash for Silver, we call him Cash for Silver. And we grew up so good in this area. When I hear the death of him, I know I don't even know what to say, but he's not a troublesome person. He's not a war person. If you even come into him with war, he try to laugh it out and make it a joke, just like a little 1-year-old child.
I cry day and night. every day because I'm hurt. I'm very hurt. I love my nephew bad and he's a good youth. He don't get trouble and everything. I miss him. I miss him so much. I miss Cash. I miss him. Nothing bad to say about Cash. And the person that do it, we need them to come to justice.
Anyway, you see me, just miss Lilita, I'm running Joe. Me not know him as no wrongdoer.
Despite the killers being captured, the family is still in disbelief that their beloved Cash Money is no longer around. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
A line was drawn in the historic streets of Spanish Town, St. Catherine today with a wall of protesters as a spiritual showdown unfolded between a government seeking to legislate and a church refusing to compromise. Regardless of the hot sun, the passionate protesters refused to back down from standing up for their country in more realms than one. Crystal Williams has that story.
Almighty God, we serve. Church representatives and their congregants in and around the Spanish Town area have come together to send a message to the authorities of the nation that they will not allow obeah to be legalized. Bishop Rowan Anderson, pastor of Lighthouse Ministries in Jamaica, references the alleged legalization of voodoo in other countries such as Haiti and its reported effects on the state of the country.
The church has seen the evil that has been done to Haiti, the constant crime, the gangs that has taken over, all different kind of disasters, because Haiti has allowed voodoo to be one of their major religions. And we don't want that in Jamaica.
On his first stop in this movement, Reverend Anderson questioned the motives of business owners and other persons who may possibly profit from the practice.
You want to tell me that the government wants to make money off evil? You're talking about taxes? You want to tax the people who are practicing obeah, so you put money in the government's coffer? This is utter foolishness.
Chairman of the Spanish Town Ministers Fraternal, Pastor Dalbert Simmons, who describes obeah as witchcraft, says the beliefs and false hope it gives inspired him and his congregants to stand against it.
There are persons in this country, right, that believe that this practice, if you become a part of it, and if you, use the methods that they have, right, in terms of blood sacrifice, doing the many different things that they practice, right, it can raise the dead. I have been told that, you understand, if you get the right covering, or if you go to the right obeah man, you understand, you can commit crime and get off of it. Those belief, we have to stand against them.
He is asking the newly appointed cabinet not to fold to the pressure he believes they are under.
I am pleading to the Prime Minister, don't allow for pressure for you to overturn this law.
Bishop Reverend Dr. Alvin Bailey, president of the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance, says he believes that obeah has long been practiced in Jamaica, but has not been given the level of prominence currently being sought. Now that a decision is about to be made by the court, he says the Caribbean Church has chosen to take a stand.
The church needs to continue and to increase speaking out against obeah. We have received emails and we have received WhatsApp from our Christian counterpart in Haiti, who is asking us to do everything within our powers to ensure that obeah is not legalized in Jamaica.
Christian Church awaits the decision to be made by the court. But for now, their resolve persists.
Obeah? Evil? You want to tell me that the government, it is not of God.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Election season has passed, but it's left lingering conflict in its aftermath. This evening, questions are being raised about whether political representatives should face tougher penalties if they fail to remove campaign material from the streets by the legal deadline. Amoy Harriet has been tracking that story.
This was in the Gordon Town area on Wednesday. Here,
Our news team was driving along Weymouth Drive on Sunday. Another one in the Mountain View area on Monday. It's been a week since the deadline for all campaign-related material and paraphernalia to be removed from the streets. Yet, evidence of the September 3 general elections still hang stubbornly in plain sight and indicate that the September 17 removal deadline has been treated with scant regard. Now on Sunday, members of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation (KSAMC) carried out cleanup operations across the eastern section of the corporate area to remove campaign materials for both major political parties.
Even though the time has passed when the political parties should have taken down their stand, we're asking both political parties again to encourage their candidates to take down their signs.
Our newsroom spoke to chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party's campaign committee, Dr. Christopher Tufton, who said a letter has been sent to members of the party urging the removal of posters. Meanwhile, General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, told us that some PNP members have missed the deadline, but they're hoping to finish cleanup efforts by the end of this month.
It is surprising that that declaration would have come from a political actor. However, for those who sit at the table here at the Commission, as you know, there is the General Secretary and access to different leaders of the political party. They speak in one voice to say that they are in agreement and that they inform their political representatives of the need to be compliant with this deadline that has been published by the Commission. That being said, there has not been a grace period as such. There is a responsibility, the requirement to be compliant, and that date has passed. As you said, it's 1 week out.
Now, although the law provides for penalties, CVM News has been unable to uncover any record of a political representative being sanctioned for failing to meet the deadline in past elections. This time around, the Office of the Political Ombudsman says despite CVM's reports of some posters still being up, it has not received any complaints from the public, nor has its own investigations uncovered any politicians in breach so far.
And we encourage the public to inform us.
Now, political candidates are usually required to pay a $15,000 campaign deposit to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica ECJ. By law, failing to remove campaign paraphernalia means they forfeit any chance of having that deposit refunded. But CVM News understands that in some cases, posters aside, certain politicians don't even bother trying to reclaim their deposit. Now, this has raised questions about whether there needs to be stronger consequences for those who ignore the deadline. Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, is pushing ahead with a policy for a similar deposit to be made to the municipal corporation. He says the KSAMC will have details within the next 2 months on the exact deposit amount that will apply for future elections.
It's unfair for political parties to be putting up these signs and things and don't take them down, and yet the KSAMC has to stand the cost.
That is a positive outlook, but even before that policy, that new policy is put in place, the law allows that they can recoup cleanup costs from persons who cause the municipality to go above and beyond. There's always been the advocacy of the office to have stronger penalties or the ability to impose stronger sanctions for persons who are subject to the law.
For now, it's left to be seen when the streets will finally be free of campaign clutter. Amoy Harriet reporting for CVM News.
The National Commercial Bank NCB has launched a voluntary separation program, but the rollout has left some staff uncertain. CVM News has learned that the program, which runs from September 23 to 29, was announced to staff via email. Some employees, however, were concerned the message could have been a phishing attempt. The email reportedly contained a form asking workers to submit details if they wished to participate. But the NCB Staff Association quickly advised employees not to sign or submit any forms until there is further clarification. Among the conditions outlined, staff must have been with the bank for more than 2 years and must not have previously resigned. CVM has not yet received any details on severance packages or additional benefits. NCB, led by billionaire businessman Michael Lee Chin, has gone through multiple restructurings in recent years. The bank's stock, which once traded as high as $249 per share, is now trading at $44. The institution has not publicly explained the reasons for the separation offer. CVM News will, of course, continue to track this developing story. We take a break, but there's more when we return.
The time by KFC is 7:30.
Crunch your craving with the value menu from KFC. With combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Join us next week when we conclude our discussion with Dr. Chambers on his success in the Tourism Enhancement Fund's special Tourism Innovation Incubator program and how he has been able to turn his innovative idea into a successful business.
Welcome back. Well, here's your business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today about a company that in less than 2 years has more than doubled its employed workforce in Jamaica, while simultaneously expanding Jamaica's reputation as a desirable destination for business outsourcing, as Optimum Jamaica celebrated its second anniversary with an official launch ceremony. Vikesh Vaswani, Senior Vice President and Chief Outsourcing Officer, charted the rise of Optimum, which currently serves only one client, parent company Altice USA, the fourth largest cable provider in the United States.
We were about 400 employees, give or take. Kirkland, you may remember this. You were here, Kim. So we were about 400 employees. Today we are close to 900 employees. Right? I think that's a big testament. We had one or two lines of businesses. We had the voice, CSR, TSR, Kirkland is teleprompting there. So, definitely just two, which was CSR and TSR voice. That's all we had. And now I heard from Leon, we have 19 lines of businesses. We are winning awards like never before. We are growing like we have never before. And we clearly are on a journey and we are unstoppable.
Bill Bondi, Senior Director of Business Process Management at Altice USA, headquartered in New York, agrees. He spoke of how the captive contact center operation in New Kingston is establishing itself as a beginning of brilliance.
Not long ago, the site was managed by a BPO outside of our control. When it was announced that Altice Optimum would be taking over the facility, site, and operations, we all know it was going to be not a simple task, but we also knew that it was going to be a turning point for us, an opportunity for us to create something unique, and that something unique is creating a captive contact center of excellence. We expanded our community engagement because we didn't only want to be just part of the Jamaican economy, we wanted to be a thread, a fabric within the Jamaican story. So now, when you look across and the facility and the people, you see not only a rebranded site, but you also see confidence, you see stability, and you see a foundation that's going to help us build for the future.
Leon Davis, Senior Director and Site General Manager, spoke of how operations have been optimized with the rapid generation of multiple new lines of business.
Today, Optimum is no longer just a support site, right? We're evolving to something much bigger with over 19 lines of businesses. That includes customer service, retention, technical support, we have engineering, NOC, and so on, and communications, HR. So when you look at the center, we're not just looking at persons taking phone calls, you're looking at our entire business here in Jamaica. We open doors for people who may not have had the traditional experience, and also we did it with drive, passion, and potential, right? We're also open our doors to heart, right? Those are persons in the broader community. We have about 4 of them right now, and they are not taking phone calls. They're in finance, they're in HR, they're in IT. So we're building just development for the respected institutions around Jamaica and bringing them into career-focused activities. We see Optimum continuing to expand and create meaningful careers and opportunities, and also more diverse services. Really and truly, we're becoming a center of excellence, which is our purpose.
It's a purpose that correlates with the ambitions of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, whose CEO, Kelly Dawn Hamilton, transmitted her delight at the example that Optimum Jamaica has provided to prospective and existing clients of the authority.
Behind every statistic lies a story. Behind those 900 employees, and let me tell you something, I asked my team to check the numbers. What are the numbers for Optimum? And we started with 496. So we wrote the speech and we put in 496. Then them called me back and said, no, it's not 496, it's 672. So we had to cross out the 672. We had another call again and said, no, it's not 672. Then reached 700. I said, all right, here we Just call me with the final number. 2 more calls later, ladies and gentlemen. Over 900 employees. That is fantastic. This vision is exactly what the Special Economic Zone Authority seeks to nurture. Companies that are not only here for today, but are building for tomorrow. Companies that see Jamaica not just as a location, but as a strategic advantage and partner in business development. To our existing SEZ companies, and I'm putting down a charge now, we have approximately 211 companies, 204 companies operating across 211 locations in our SEZs. And the charge to them is use Optimum as that journey to challenge you to aim even higher. Expand your services, invest in your people, and take bold steps towards innovation.
The significance of Optimum's efforts to integrate more deeply into the Jamaican business environment was recognized by Jamaica Manufacturing and Exporters Association Vice President Mark Frankson.
By joining the JMEA, Optimum has made it clear that they are not just here to have an office, but to be a part of the Jamaican business community. You have aligned yourself with our manufacturers, our exporters, and our service providers who believe, as we do, that Jamaica can compete at the highest level when we build the right partnerships and keep raising our standards. What we're celebrating today with the launch of Optimum Jamaica is more than a ribbon cutting. It's about vision and confidence. Optimum could have chosen to put their investment anywhere, but they chose Jamaica. And it's a decision that speaks volumes about the confidence that you have in our people, our talent, and our future.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crossgill.
Well, it's over now to social media.
So, what's happening online today? A man was mowed down at Michael's service station at National Hero Circle in Kingston early Wednesday morning. The cause of the incident is still unclear. Social media users are reacting to this news. At Fabi1 comments, the truck driver